Hi, I am Jonas, and this is Transit Verify, a compliance platform for reporting unauthorized transit violation on minibus taxis in Addis Ababa. So there is a problem here in Addis where minibus operators frequently commit two types of violation. The first one is route chopping. So route chopping means ending trips early and forcing passengers off before they reach their destination. And another very common problem is what we call the fare overcharging, which is people get charged over the stated limit. And this happens in scattered and one-off incidents across the city. So terminal managers and traffic policies, apparently they can't be everywhere. And commuters don't have a specific channel to report them. So without this kind of tools or mechanisms, these violations go unnoticed or unaccounted, and they happen in repeat. So as a proposed solution, we have Transit Verify. So Transit Verify solves this with USSD-based crowdsourcing reporting. We don't need any smartphones. We don't need any applications. When multiple independent commuters, right, they report the same vehicle, in the same route, and in the same violation within a short window, which is 50 minutes set for this prototype. And if the commuter's threshold reaches 5, the system automatically flags it and records it as a verified anomaly, and a terminal manager can act on it. So a spam filter is also applied just to protect the actual table that records this reports. So spam filter applies in a 5-minute window. So in a 5-minute window, if the same plate with the same violation and the same route gets reported more than 20, which is the capacity of a single minibus gets more than 20, it's going to be logged as spam and later on used for auditing. It's not discarded, it's just kept in a separate table. So the system design, when we look at the system design, we can talk about who investigates or what kind of roles do we have. So we have 3 roles, the first one being terminal manager. So these are the people who investigate flagged anomalies so they can easily resolve them, meaning that the traffic police has issued a ticket and the people have paid. So they just bring their receipt and hand it to the terminal manager so they can make it resolved. Or there was no issue found, there were just false alerts, so it can be just reviewed. And when it's reviewed, we don't require them to put any penalty receipts. So the second role that we want to explore is the supervisor. Supervisor is the one that foresees terminal managers, and they only have read permissions, and they get to see every zone. A terminal manager is scoped to a specific zone, but supervisors, they can see every single zone, and they can audit who resolved what and when. And the traffic police officer is the one who gets read-only permission also. And they're going to have trimmed column, and they're not going to have all the comments. We're going to see what that means. And they're going to have a responsive design as well, as they might be on operation and they might need to use their device or small devices like phones. So from here, this is the login page. I'm going to log in as one of the terminals managers. So where we see this is a terminal manager account. So for specific terminal manager, they see these filters. And among these filters, the zone 1 is deactivated because it says this is your scope and you cannot go outside this zone. So every single zone that this terminal manager is going to be see is the one he's assigned to. From pending, we can check out all and apply the filter. It's going to show us every single status. And as a terminal manager, the only action they can do is changing pending actions, and it's only forward. So even pending status are only forward. So let's check it out. Maybe this is a violation that doesn't require any penalty receipt. So we just mark it reviewed. Once it's reviewed, we cannot change it. It's deactivated. So it's only forward action. And reviewed statuses don't require receipts. It's going to keep empty. But we know when it was flagged. So later on, if a supervisor wants to audit, they can audit. So maybe let's check it out how a user would interact with our platform. So over here, we have this short code, which is on Africa Sandbox talking. So once a user dials it, they're going to see an interface. They're going to see the interface asking them, we're just confirming they're here for report violation. Yes, we're here for report violation. So we don't have strict license plate number, but minimal regex like this is not going to pass because it's very short. So we did a minimal check for plate numbers. So let's report a specific plate. Let's report this plate, and let's say it's in Bole, right from the zones, and we were going from Bole to Maganaya, and they just route chop or they stopped us before we reach our destination. So we just confirm every field is the right thing. It says thank you. So now when a user or a commuter reports, it's only one report, and that's not gonna create anomaly. But for the sake of demonstration, I already reported this plate 4 times before I started recording this video. So we're gonna check the table and see the previous reports that I submitted. So this specific plate should have been reported 4 times. So if I check my command, so previously it's been reported 4 times over here. Now I reported the 5th time. So the 5th is the threshold that is going to flag anomaly in which zone, specifically Bole. And let's check it out. So these times are in UTC, but on the front end, we're not going to see these times because we want to make it proper time, like Addis Ababa time for the users here or for the roles. So this terminal manager, they're in Meganania, so we'll have to change a manager that has access to a different zone to see the reports. So let's switch an account. So this account is specifically tied to the route we just flagged. So this is the one where we're supposed to be seeing. I didn't properly switch to the new row. I should remove this and change this. So as you can see, this is scope to Bole, the zone, right? And the report came in like this because officially it reached 5. So this terminal manager, they can resolve it once they verify that they have receipt number. So the receipt number is issued by traffic police. So let's say the receipt number is issued, so this person can resolve it. So there's a regex where it doesn't allow any kind of format. So there's specific format we have to comply just to mimic real world scenario. So maybe let's try this. It has to be 3 numbers, as I said, 3. So once we confirm, it's already gone because we're in pending status. If we check result, it's going to appear on top, which is here. And yeah, this is the list of columns, so I can change it once it's recorded. So let's check out another role, which is the supervisor, which has higher hierarchy over this platform. They can't take any actions, but as a read-only option, they can see some things that other can't see, which is updated by. Updated by is auditing purpose. It shows who did what and at what time. So these are all pending, maybe from reviewed. Pending statuses don't have any specific action. Maybe let's check out reviewed. So from reviewed, we can see that this person, specifically with their email, because emails are unique, changed the status at this time. So this is for reporting purpose, for auditing purpose. So the 3rd row is the traffic police. So the officer gets a trimmed column. They only have 7 columns which are necessary for him to issue the ticket. They can see the plate number and the violation and make sure the report count is verified, what time it is, and after seeing the status, they just issue a ticket. And yeah, they have access to all zones, supervisor as well. So there is also pagination. It only shows the 25 of them. So let's do all. So if we do apply all, it's going to have pagination, right? We're just going to see the first 25. After that, we just have to do next. So this is pretty much it from my end. Maybe I can talk a little bit about the code architecture. So under the hood, we have a Flask and SQLite. They're deployed both on Python anywhere. And commuter's phone number arrives in every SSD webhook because we're using Africa Stalking Sandbox, which they include phone numbers in their API spec. But as a third party, we just never save or read or store any of the data in the system. We only save plate number, and that's just to track the drivers, so not the people. And the code is in public on my GitHub. I have included a full instruction in the README, so feel free to set it up and test it. And also, this is a deployed version of it, so you can also visit the deployed version with the link I attached. Feel free to check out the service as well. Thank you for watching.